Can you please read the question that you from the first question from your test?
The graph of f of x is equal to x minus 2 plus 3 over x minus 2 has been sketched below. 1.1 Express f of x in the form f of x is equal to a over x a over x plus p minus q.
Yes. You see, so from that question, you see, they want you to express what you are given in this format, right?
Yes, sir.
So from what we have to understand this format that we wrote there is the standard format, but there are different formats that we can use to express. So in short, you are supposed to be able to express different formats that will be given. But some of the formats I'm going to share with you, sometimes they even give you not this simple one. Sometimes they can even want you to simplify fractions until you reduce it to standard format. It's clear, né?
Yes, sir.
So you have to revisit even your factorization, addition and subtraction of fractions so that it will be easy. But let's go to this one which we are having here. So if you check here, we are having this x plus 2, x minus 2, which is similar to that one which is on the denominator. So to simplify that, we do what you did here. You separate x minus 2 over x minus 2, then you put the 3 on its own there. Then dividing x minus 2 by x minus 2, we got a 1 plus 3 over x minus 2. So the standard form is what you wrote there, which is 3 over x minus 2 plus 1. You don't have problem with that, right?
No, sir, I don't have a problem.
Okay. Then we go to the second one. If you check the second one, they were asking you to determine the coordinates. Can you please read?
Determine the coordinates of the points of intersection of the axis of symmetry.
You see, on that question, they asked you point of intersection of the axis of symmetry. Just know that they can still ask you point of intersection of the asymptotes. Is that clear?
Is that the same thing, sir?
Is the same thing. Point of intersection of the axis of symmetry is the same as point of intersection of the asymptotes. And sometimes they can use this question by just saying by determining the equations of the asymptote. It's almost the same thing, but I will explain equations of asymptotes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If we, like the way they asked the coordinates of the point of intersection, it means your final answer must be in coordinate form. It's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Your final answer must be in coordinate form. Then, if they ask you again in terms of coordinates of the coordinates of the point of intersection of the asymptotes, your final answer must be in coordinate form. But if they say equations of the asymptotes, it must be an equation. But you see how you wrote on your question there? On your answer. Hello?
How, sir? Sir?
If they asked you the equations of the asymptotes, we don't use P and Q. If you use P and Q, you lose marks. If it was, they would
So I
ask
must
you
use X
equations of
and Y.
asymptotes. Sorry?
So I must use X and Y.
X and Y. It means the other one, you just take the denominator from the standardized form there. The one with standard, the denominator x minus 2 equated to 0. Because when you are saying asymptote, you want a portion where the graph is invalid. So x minus 2 equal to 0, then you make x subject of the formula. X is equal to 2. Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir.
Then the other one, y, the part which is fractional there, you treat it as 0 because we say our numerator, our a must never be 0. So this is good as y is equal to 0 plus that part which is not a fraction. So it becomes y equal to 1. Are you seeing that?
One. Yes, sir.
But take note there, if the question is strictly say equation of asymptotes, don't use the p's and the q's. You use x and y if they want equations of the asymptotes, because if you use p and q, you are going to lose all the marks. It's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, they wanted point of intersection. So it means 2, 1, you get your full marks there. But this one I put in red, I said if they had wanted the equations, take it, I'm repeating, don't use P and Q if they ask you the equations. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes they don't ask you both equations of the asymptotes. They can ask you the vertical only, the horizontal only. You have to know which one is vertical asymptote, which one is horizontal asymptote. Because if you give both when they are strictly saying vertical, you are going to lose a mark. So the one which is saying x equal to is the vertical asymptote. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then the one which says y equal to is your horizontal asymptote. Are we covered there?
Yes, sir.
Then, can we please go to the third one? Can you please read?
Determine the coordinates of the intersects.
So you see, they are saying coordinates of the intercepts. Means they did not specify which. It means we need both x-intercept and y-intercept, right?
Yes, sir.
So make sure, like what you did, you separated them. And for x-intercept, we know our y is equal to 0. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
For calculation purposes, always make sure that equating to 0 will be awarded a mark. If you leave the equating to 0, you lose marks. Then you solve your algebra, transpose that one, -1, the same way you did there. You solve, because they actually say the coordinates, your final answer must be coordinates. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then the y-intercept, we know that we substitute x is equal to 0. Then you substitute there. When you got your answer, write your answer in coordinate form. Because if they specify coordinates and you leave your answer not is coordinates, you are going to lose marks. You got that right?
Yes, sir.
Can we go to the next question? Can you please read it?
Hence, determine the coordinates of A. Leave your answer in simplified third form.
So, the one which is saying equation.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, sir. Determine the equation of line A, B if AB has a maximum length. So I don't understand what it means by the maximum length. Can you
Can
please
you read
explain?
properly? Did they say maximum or they said minimum?
Oh, minimum length. Sorry.
So when we are on a hyperbola and there's a line which joins a straight line which joins the two hyperbola. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
If we are saying if we are having a, if we are having a hyperbola and there's a line joining the two hyperbola, the distance can only be shortest if that line is axis of symmetry. Is that clear?
So
Hello?
it can only be the minimum if it's the axis of symmetry.
It can only be minimum if it's axis of symmetry. So with you have to know the shape of your graph. You see the shape of our graph, which is in this case. It means they were asking you for the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
But if maybe in we were having a graph like this, hope you are seeing what I'm drawing, where our arms were something like this. Are you
Like
seeing
they were
that?
in the second and fourth quadrant. Yes, sir.
Second and fourth, then the shortest distance will be like this. As long as they talk of the shortest distance between these two arms, it can only exist on the axis of symmetry. So if it was like this, it means they ask you the axis of symmetry having negative gradient. That's another way of asking you the axis of symmetry. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So for you to get the equation of the axis of symmetry, here we wanted the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So for you to get the axis of symmetry having positive gradient, if you are having an equation which is in standard form, if your equation is already in standard form, let me just say, let me put it here, maybe y equal to, we got what? 3 over
Y equal to 3 over x minus 2
plus 1. Is that clear?
plus 1.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
we want the equation of the axis of symmetry having positive gradient, it means if you have that standard equation, you can read it this way. You can read it this way. You just ignore the numerator. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it means it's going to be y is equal to x minus 2 plus 1. Like what you did there. Y is equal to x minus 1. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
But you also have to take note. Remember, the axis of symmetry is the equation of a straight line, right?
Yes, sir.
Alternatively, it depends on what you are given. You can just use y is equal to x plus c. That's the equation, the general equation of the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. So it means that line, the axis of symmetry, must always pass through the point of intersection of the axis of symmetry or the point of intersection of the asymptotes. So it means that line must pass through 2, 1 because we had calculated that point. Do you still remember?
2, 1.
On question 1.2, where we calculated
Oh,
point of
yes, sir.
intersection of the axis of symmetry.
Yes, sir.
So it means you can use this method. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then we want to calculate c. So it means where there is x, we are going to substitute what?
C. I
Ta-
mean,
Take
what?
note the coordinates
Where
that
there's
we
x,
have.
we're going to substitute. Oh, we're going to substitute 2.
And where there is y, we substitute.
1.
So it's going to be 1 equal to 2 plus c. Are you seeing that?
No, sir, not.
We are saying this is the general equation of the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. You see where I'm highlighting?
Yes, sir.
But always the axis of symmetry will pass through the point of intersection of the axis of symmetry or point of intersection of the asymptote. And that point of intersection, we calculated it in 1.2. Do you still remember?
Yes, sir.
So we are saying, using what we did when we were dealing with the equation of a straight line, this is the equation, but we now want to calculate the constant c. So just substitute this point 2, 1 in this general equation. Where there is x, put 2. Where there is y, put 1. So that we determine the value of c. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So when you transpose the 2 there, we are now going to be left with 1 minus 2 equal to c. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
So your c is equal to what?
-1.
-1. At the end, answer the question. We want it to be an equation. So y equal to x, where they see you now substitute -1. You see, the equation is still the same as that one.
Yes, sir.
So you scored how many marks on this first question? 9.
So we're not done.
Sorry?
Oh, okay.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please read the next question?
Hence, determine the coordinates of A, leaving your answer in simplified third form.
Okay. What's that A?
A is a point. Oh,
What's that A?
okay. It's the um it's a part of the axis of symmetry, but in that it's like the mid.
You, A,
I can't
if you check,
explain.
it's
I don't
point of
understand.
intersection of axis of symmetry and F. Are you
Point of
seeing
what?
that?
So what did you say? Point of what?
Point of intersection of A, B, and F.
A, B, and F. Point of yes, sir.
You are seeing A is lying on AB, is also lying on F. So we call it's a point of intersection of two graphs. Are you seeing that?
Also, we equate it together, yes, sir. So
So
we
it means
equate
we
it
have to
together and
equate
solve the
those
question.
two graphs. Every time you see, sometimes they don't tell you that is point of intersection.
Yes, sir.
But that's why we say when you read the instructions that are given there, also go to the diagram, then compare the two. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So if you check, A is the point of intersection of that axis of symmetry and F. So how do we get the coordinates of point of
And F.
intersection? It means we have to equate the two graphs. In other words, we are solving simultaneous equations. We are going back to algebra.
Yes, sir.
It's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So in other words, let me start it here. We are having equation 1, y equal to x minus 1. You see where that equation is coming from, right?
Yes.
Then the other one, y equal to, for fx, you can take the one that you are given. Maybe you are not sure that the one that you simplified is correct. But if you're sure it's correct, you can use it. But I recommend you use the one that you are given. So what was it saying? It's saying x minus 2 plus 3 all over x minus 2. Is that clear? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Are you seeing how
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. It's clear.
we did not
Yes,
take
sir.
where you
So
standardize, we are just taking the original ones that you are given in question.
the original.
You got that right?
So would it be wrong? So would it be wrong if I use mine? Even if, let's say, for example, my simplified one was wrong, would it be wrong if I used it in this equation, but I used it in the right way? Would I not get the mark of, what's
Uh,
that mark called? Where marked based off of your previous answer, but marking the fact that you had the right idea but wrong answer from the previous question.
yeah, that one. For now, I just want us to talk of the correct things because at the marking center, yes, they will end up having the consistent accuracy, the CA marking. Are you hearing me?
Okay.
For
Yes, sir.
marking purposes, but Tina, for now, let's try to talk of the correct things because we don't know the mood of the person who will be marking your paper.
So I'm just asking.
Yes.
So I'm just asking.
Yeah, I thank you very much. So, to avoid maybe those mistakes, maybe this one you were not sure, just use the one that you are given. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So we now have your equation 1 and your equation 2. We are going to solve those two equations simultaneously. So it means we are going to, because this y, this equation 1, y is already subject of the formula. So in equation 2, where there is y, we are just going to substitute x minus 1. Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir.
So it means we are now going to just go straight to x minus 1 equal to, here you can simplify x minus 2 plus 3. What do you get?
Sorry?
That numerator from equation 2, x minus 2 plus 3. We can remove the brackets, then you just simplify minus 2 plus 3.
Oh, plus one. X plus one.
So it means we have the x plus 1 over x minus 2. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And take note, this first term, this first expression x minus 1 here, it can be written as over 1 because the other side you have a fraction. So it's easy if we put it also as a fraction so that we cross multiply. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it means we are now going to have x minus 1 multiplying x minus 2, which is this denominator. Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir.
Being equal to this one multiplied by x
X
plus
plus
1.
one.
Then expand the bracket here. Let's expand it. If we take this one to that one, x times x, what are we going to get?
X times X is 2. X squared.
X squared. Then take this x. Again, it must multiply the next term. So x times minus 2,
X times minus negative, negative 2x.
negative
Minus
2x.
2x, sorry.
Then we are done with the first term and everything in the second bracket. We go to the second term in the first bracket, take it to x minus 1 times x. What are you going to get?
Minus 2x.
Minus 1 times x,
Oh, minus 1 times x. Sorry, so minus x. Negative x.
negative x. Then we take the minus 1 there to multiply the second term. So we are going to have minus 1 times minus 2
Minus 1 times minus 2 is plus 2.
plus 2. Then you can transpose. Okay, we can. Okay, let us transpose these terms there. We are going to take this x to this side. It becomes what?
Which x?
The ones on the right hand side, those two terms, also take them to the other side
It
of
becomes minus x and minus 1
minus x and minus 1. Then equate that to 0. Is that clear?
to 0. Yes.
Then let's simplify. Do we have any other term with x squared?
No, sir.
So x squared. Let us now collect like terms. So it lets us collect those terms with x only. If you check, we are having what? You see, we are having this minus 2x minus x. Are you seeing those?
Yes, sir.
We also have
And
another
minus
minus x there.
so
So
it's
what are we
minus
gonna
4
get?
minus 4x.
It's minus 4x. And I recommend you use your calculator by just simplifying those coefficients minus 2, minus 1, so that we avoid making errors. We are getting minus 4x. Then we are having plus 2 minus 1
Plus 2 minus 1 is plus 1.
plus 1. Equate them to 0. So from there, I recommend we use the quadratic formula. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And
For
what
x
is
is equal
also
to
guiding you to use the quadratic formula is the fact that they said the answer must be in said form. Is that clear?
third form. Yes, sir.
Then our quadratic formula, x equal to minus b plus or minus the square root
Plus
of.
minus square root of
Always make
square
sure
root of
that you
9.
have your formula sheet, because you do not have to memorize this formula. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then let's do the substitutions. So your x is equal to what?
X is equal to negative,
Your b is what?
well, positive
Take
negative
note of your
4.
b,
Negative 4.
negative 4, plus or minus the square root of. Your b, we agreed it's negative 4. Don't
Yes,
forget
sir.
to square it. Minus 4. Your a is what?
It's 1
Then your c is what?
plus 1.
It's another 1 again. All over 2. Your a
2
is what?
times 1. 1.
Use your calculator.
X is equal to 2 plus 3. What? 2 plus the square root of 3 and
So it's equal to
2 plus the square root of 3
okay, x equal to
and 2
2 plus root of 3,
the square root of 3.
or x
Yes.
is equal to
And also 2 minus the square root of 3.
2 minus the square root of 3. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
But you see the question, what was the question saying? Go ahead to the question.
The coordinates of A, so must look for Y.
It wants coordinates. So it means we also have to look
Coordinates of,
for y. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
And because when you are writing an exam, There is also time constraint. There is no need for you to calculate both for those two values. So you have to identify which one is the coordinate of A, which one is the coordinate of B from those two axes. So which one is the coordinate of A if you look at those two and compare their values to the diagram?
X is equal to 2 minus the square root of 3.
Why are you taking that?
Because that one's equal to 0, 26.
It is smaller
Whereas
than
the
the
other
other
one,
one, right?
yes, sir.
So we are saying this one, which is having minus, is the one for A. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So there's no need for you to do both. You just inspect there so that you save your time. So it means we now want the y. You just choose any equation from those two that we started with. So I recommend you just choose the simpler one. So the simpler one is what?
Y is equal to x minus 1.
Y equal to x minus
X
1.
minus 1.
Just substitute the x at A. So it means your y is gonna be equal to, where there is x, you are now going to put your 2 minus
Minus
root
3.
3. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then you put minus 1. Your final answer, therefore, is going to be equal to
1 minus root 3.
1 minus root 3. Don't forget what you were asked. What was the question asking you?
Those coordinates.
So coordinates. Our final answer must be coordinates. Therefore, the coordinates of A, the x coordinate is 2 minus root 3. The y coordinate is 1 minus root 3. Is that clear?